video and a quick look at this book video, if you will. First look. All I have, it's not really a first look because I've actually had a quick look through it. Because it wasn't sealed, so I've been leafing my way through and basically having a look. So what have we got? We've got the Monsters and Mercenaries book, and we have the
Chimera,
however you want to say it. You pick. We have the monster.
We're going to call him Bob.
You will be called Bob, apparently. There we go. But just before we unbox that, I will quickly show you what this book is. It's not a very thick book, as you can see there. Very thin book. What it contains, you do get a little bit of fluff at the beginning with all this stuff. There we go. So, get past this bit. Yeah, and there's like bits about Bestial Glory, and then we've got some of the painted models. Nothing new. It's all models we've seen before because they're all from the various ranges. But there are models you can use in this. The cool thing is the Gobblepalooza. Right, so Monsters and Mercenaries. So basic quests, challenge battles, thralls and monsters, allies, and then the warband roster to include them. That's what's in this book. It's fairly succinct. We have some new rune marks to differentiate things. We have fated quests. So basically quests which are harder apparently, but will lead to nice things, either getting points of honour or points of glory. One leads to weapons, one leads to abilities. And these are the fated quests. So much like the quests in the book, apart from any of the 8 Chaos factions can do any of these quests. Hunt for the Doomblade. So you either end up literally with Indomitable Will, because I've already had a look at this one, or the Doomblade itself, depending on where you went for honour or glory. That's how it works. Once you've worked through the campaign, these are like the convergence points for this campaign. As you can see, this starts to use some of the other terrain boxes as well. This one ends with the Sigmar Vault there. So if you are going to follow one of these, hopefully you've got all the terrain, or you know someone who's got it, because you also need someone to play against. And if your friend's got one of these, obviously you can combine sets to, because I mean, what happens in a lot of the convergence things is they'll be playing your adversary. Not necessarily their warband, but they'll be playing your adversary. So there's a few of these in here. Lords of the Arena as well. Slaves and Masters. All of them have different rewards. And Spoils of Victory. So this is what was about honour being the command traits. So this replaces your existing command trait. Just to give you the example, the one I gave you, the Indomitable Will. Basically, you subtract 3 to a minimum of 1 from the damage points allocated to this fighter by each hit or critical hit from attack actions made by enemy fighters. That'll sink in for a minute. How much damage that's actually going to mitigate over a battle is a lot. You just become basically a walking tank. Or you can go for the Doomblade. And this one adds 5 to the damage points allocated by critical hits from the attack actions made by the bearer that have a range characteristic of 3 or less. Adds 5 to the existing amount of damage you've done. So most leaders, for instance, do 5 already. That's 10 critical hits.
Ouch.
See, so you've got either massive defense bonuses or massive attack bonuses. Just as an example of one of them there. You can see there's 4 of each. One for each of the fated. So they're very cool, and I think we should bring some of those. And then challenge battles. This is how you end up getting some of the monsters, like the Chimera. Chimera? Chimera?
Chimera?
Chimera?
Bob.
This is how you get monsters like Bob or Fred here. So basically, you find someone to be your opponent. Instead of picking their warband, they pick the monster. The monster. What you have to do is basically you have to have a prerequisite amount of territories dominated already. Most of them are 2. I think in this book. I think the one of the light ends 4. But you have to have at least 2 territories already. And you're gambling a territory. So if you lose this battle, you also lose a territory. And you don't get the monster either. There are abilities that you can use during a game, and there's some different set of abilities. But if you want Bob, you have to do this one, the first one, Lair of the Trifold Beast. If you wanted to recruit a Chaos Gargant, you have to do this one, Colossal Carnage, which is the Cygor, the Gorgon, and the Chaos Gargant. That'll be the same battle for those 3, and you recruit them into your warband after you've beaten them. We have the Scuttler in the Dark, which is our Ragnarok Skitterstrand Spider. Which I hope they do a box set of that on its own, without the goblins, with the cards like this. Because I'd buy it because I was thinking of getting one anyway for my Gloomspite Gates. And then we have the Menagerie of Horrors, Terrorgeist and Zombie Dragons. And there's things going on there with Night Haunts and Legions of Nagash and the special rules. So when you're fighting against your adversary in this one, they also get 200 points worth of those guys of their choice.
Oh, cool.
Just about to do it. Just to make it chaotic. The Trial Serpents is the War Hydra, and I don't know how you say this one either. It's a Caradabis, maybe, something like that. The 2 things the Hydra kit makes, basically, the War Hydra and the other thing. The other thing's creepy as heck.
Yeah, that's the Caradabis, isn't it? That's the one that's got the suckers on the front, isn't it?
If they do a box set of that, I'd be tempted with a lot of these monsters, because some of them, most of them, these guys are from factions I don't really actively play, so I've never bought like the Cygor. I always thought it's a cool looking beast, but I've no use for it. Well, maybe there is. And then we have Into the Jaws of Death, which is one of the 4 dominated territory ones. Now this isn't about collecting monsters, or because you don't have at the end, if you win, that's the other thing, you can do different things. You can break the spirit of the monster, which is basically add it to your gang, your warband, or you can carve it up and sell it. And a challenger can make up 3 additional search rolls on the lesser artifacts table. You don't have to bind it to it, just because you're beating it, you can pick the other one and get loads of artifacts instead. If you don't want to add it, you just want the challenge of getting loads of artifacts, you do exactly the same thing. If you just want a fun battle, there you go. And then we've got the Hand of the Ever-Chosen. And this is where we fight some of Archaon's retinue, and we've included the rules for Archaon's retinue here on these like mini, I don't know what you call these, because they're like the data cards, mini data cards on a page. So for instance, you've got Chaos Warriors, good old fashioned Chaos Warriors with rune shields, 170 points each. Yeah, there you go. So you've got these guys, and then you've got the skills for them down here. So that's the Chaos Warrior one, which is Shield Ram, which makes sense because they've all got those cool Chaos shields. I have to dig those out, I've got a lot of them. And then we have the Thralls and Monsters. This is about adding them into the game. And what you have here is a bunch of hunting abilities. So when you're hunting one of these guys, these are the universal abilities that you get for your warband. Like binding ropes, so obviously you're trying to tie the thing down. And all these affect gargantuan creatures. The monster's abilities are here. Like Dragon Maul, pick an enemy fighter within 6 inches of this fighter, remove that fighter from the battlefield, and set them within 1 inch of this fighter. Then roll a number of dice equal to the value of this ability. For each roll of 4+, allocate 3 damage points to that fighter.
Woohoo!
So you're not only pulling him out of position, you're also ripping him apart a bit. Just an example. Then we have using your monster in battles and stuff like that, and the new rune marks of monsters. So that's obviously the chaos one, we've seen that before. The beasties from the starter set, the not harpies, I keep wanting to call them harpies, the furies. And the razor chickens. That's theirs, and obviously the beast mark for chaos means that any of those warband beast marks that currently exist can use that, and obviously we've got the 2 there that aren't out yet at the filming of this video anyway. So they can obviously use all chaos mark beasts, but order, destruction and death can't use chaos mark beasts. They've got their own. So order's got this symbol here, which is kind of like a serpent head. I guess that's a serpent head. The undead have got like a skeletal serpent head, and destruction have got a proper dragon's head, because destruction's just rocks. So if you've, for instance, you've got this symbol, only the undead type death legions and stuff like that can recruit that mob. We also have some new chaotic beasts here, the Razor Gore. Actually, I wanted to get some of these guys because I don't have any of these. There isn't have any in Games Workshop.
Oh, did they not?
I wonder if they're going to rebox these for Warcry.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of the reasons I'm holding off buying any of the monsters I don't already have, is because I feel like Bob here, they're going to come out in separate boxes with the cards. I hope he's got the cards in. I think he does. But thankfully, this book contains rules for all of them. Unlike the core book, which doesn't have any of the rules. There we go. So we've got Chaos Spawn, and we've got Warhounds as well. Those I do have. So I didn't actually look to see if they were in or not. We've got the Gargant. I've got a Chaos Gargant, and I've got an Ironjaw's Gargant already. So I probably won't be buying this if it comes out separate. If they bring the Cygor Gorgon kit out with the cards, I'm very tempted to get that because it's a cool model. So we've got that there, and then we've got, like as I already said, the Skitter Strand Arachnarok. So these bad boys are coming out. You can only ever have one monster as well in your warband. Just so you know, so you can't have like tons of monsters. You can only ever have one.
Okay.
So you can only ever have one big spider in there, and that's 355 points. So, you know, you're not going to have many points left over. So you kind of just, you don't want more than one. We have the War Hydra and the Carabidis, however you say it. And we got the Terrorgeist and the Zombie Dragon there. So all the rules for these guys, the damage tables and the special abilities are all in here. Then we have allies. So this is the other edition. This is like the mercenaries part to this. You can have one of these per dominated territory that you've got. And again, they have their own symbols, which are basically their faction symbol with like this chaos star. All of them have this chaos, even like the Order faction. It is a chaos star, even though part of it's knocked out by that hammer. That's what it is. It's just a very thin chaos star. And it circles each of these. So you got the Skaven one here, for instance. So Skaven are chaos, so they can be recruited by any of the chaos factions, just like the Nurgle symbol and the Khorne Tzeentch symbols there. No Slanesh yet. I don't know whether at the time they made this they haven't released their Knights. I don't know. And again, you got the symbols here. They're just the same symbols, but with a circle around you, showing them they're an ally. As I said, you can recruit one per dominated territory. If you lose dominated territory, you have to get rid of one of your allies. For instance, we've got Slaves to Darkness. So you can have the Dark Oath Chieftain and the Dark Oath War Queen. And the Chaos Sorcerer or Chaos Lord. We've got the Great Bray Shaman for the Beasts of Chaos. We've got pretty much all the dudes from the Bloodbound. So, particular interest, probably the Skullgrinder guy. The guy with the huge hammer swinging around, he's awesome. And we've also got the Slaughter Priests, we've got about 1 million of those, so That was one of the most sort of touted around models when they first came out. Age of Sigmar. Then we've got Disciples of Tzeentch. So we've got like Gaunt Summoners here, Gaunt Summoner on a disc. We've got the I hate the name of this thing. Ogroid Thaumaturge. It still sounds like something you need to put cream on. And Tanzagor Shaman. Is it like Tzeentch? It should be Tzeentch. So I suppose that's Zanzagor, I don't know. Yeah, I don't care. Shaman and the Magister.
We have our own way of saying things here,
Yeah, we
don't
do. We've got Skaven and we've got the Claw Lord there, and then we've got the Lord of Plagues and Lord of Blights. I've got like 3 models of this because it's one of my favourite models.
Yes.
I've just bought myself one of those.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might turn up quite soon in Warcry. What else do we have? We've got the Stormcast Eternals Warrior Chamber. So the Lord Celestant and Castellant and Veritant and Questor and Vexilia and Helidor and whatever else.
Yep.
We've got the Hag Queen, the Slaughter Queen, the Tidecaster, Soul Render, and Soul Scryer from the Ideneth.
I've got myself the Tidecaster.
Yes, you just bought that, haven't you?
Yes.
So order. So if you get a bunch of Stormcasts, order can recruit from each other's faction. So you don't have to have Ideneth to recruit Ideneth. You just have to have an order faction. And then we've got the Night Haunt. So we have the Knight of Shrouds, who's awesome. And yeah, and then we got the Cairnwraith or Cairnwraith. We have the Lord Executioner, Spirit Torment, and the Tomb Banshee. Nearly said Tomb.
Tomb.
It's because I'm reading sideways and confusing myself. It doesn't help. The Lord Necromancer, the White King, and the Abhorrent Ghoul King. Got all there. All your friends are there. And here's the important part: the Iron Jaws, War Boss, Mega Boss. War Chanter and the Weird Knob Shaman. The only 3 characters that the Iron Jaws have. They're all there. Yay! So this guy will be turning up. And then we have the Savage Big Boss. Don't know that one is Shaman there, but there we go. And then we have the Fungoid Cave Shaman for the Gloomspite. Gets the entire box of the Gobblerpalooza, which is actually behind me, unboxed even. So that's a future unboxing actually. That's been sat there for a while. Just never got round to it. So now they can have them in Warcry as well. And got the Loom Boss as well. It ends with a copy of this. Or quite frankly, if you've got a computer and a printer, well, you need a printer to scan that in anyway. If you've got a computer and a printer, the Vanscribe stuff's cool. I haven't checked to see if it's been updated with this Monsters and Mercenaries stuff yet. I need to go and do that after this video. Right, Bob. So, what did you think?
Very interesting actually. There's a few there that I might have a look at and see if I've got the models for.
Can I give that to you? Okay. Yeah. When I picked up the book and saw how thin it was, I was like, what's this? I was a bit concerned that it wouldn't actually have the rules in and we're going to have to buy sets of cards. I'm like, well, they don't use the cards, really. And I'm thinking, are they only going to have the cards in the boxes, so we're not going to know how good they are until we buy them? And I was thinking, no. And then when I opened the book and flicked through it, I saw everything in there. I was like, oh, thank God for that, it's all in there. But it's quite succinctly packed in for all those rules. I was actually quite impressed. There's barely any fluff. The fluff's just at the beginning, on the first few pages, and the rest of it's just rules, which is fine. It's great.
Yeah. One thing I'm a bit upset in, there's no twigs in there. There's no Sylvaner.
Every time. Sylvaner. Every time.
What?
They're not going to be in there yet, are they? So they release the Sylvaner. Probably at the same time they bring the Card Overlords in.
Yeah, but still. I feel hard done by.
I can tell. I can tell you're deeply, deeply wounded.
I am. Yeah. It's fine, I'll just use my sister's.
Oh,
What? Cool. seems...
It's not a new model, it's an older model.
Yeah,
But we don't have one. This is kind of my decision for
get a nice bookie. And...
new Monster Smash.
Guess what?
Oh!
Cards for him.
Oh! Excellent. It did show that on the back. It didn't show that on the back. I didn't realise you got the... What I think is Games Workshop. Can you please release some sleeves for these?
Yes.
Because you can't get sleeves for these. I need to, well, either that or we need to go in and laminate them. So we've got all the different languages for the rules. And obviously we don't need that for the cards because there's no words on said cards. Here is Bob. So you get to see his guy a bit closer up. So 360 in the points, 50 on the wounds. I've got 3 glyphs. That's the Gargantuan glyph, that's the fly glyph. That'll be an ability glyph, which is these 3 abilities here. We have a range of 2, 6 attacks, 6 ouch.
6 ouch.
6 ouch. And then special on the movement. I think that is the damage chart here. The damage point is 0 to 10, it moves 12. And its damage is 5 to 10. And as it gets wounded, just like in Age of Sigmar and 40k now, it will drop down. Well, this is in 40k, by the way. I just meant we've got these damage tables, which make a lot of sense. I like them. So we have a picture on the back of Bob, and then we have Bob's abilities, which is the double tail whip. Double tailed whip. Pick a visible enemy fighter within 3 inches of this fighter and roll a dice. On a 5 or a 4 to 5, 1 damage to that fighter. On a 6, a damage equal to the value of this ability. Triple Leonine Roar until the end of the battle round. Subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic to a minimum of 1 of attack actions made by enemy fighters while they're within 6 inches of this fighter. And the quad is Draconic's Head, Fiery Breath. Allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability to all visible enemy fighters within 4 inches of this fighter. Sorry. That was a maniacal laugh.
It was, wasn't it? Maniacal laugh.
I just want to recruit monsters and have them do my bidding. I think that's... It goes without saying.
Okay.
So let's have a look at how we put them together. So we have round base, which is great. It's worth noting this is in English pounds. This was £2, about £2.50-ish. More expensive than it was because I looked on the Games Workshop site for Bob. He was about £25. Now he's £27.50 or something. So for the cards and having a round base, because that would have still come with a square base. It's alright. The difference. I don't think they've overcharged for the difference. So what have we got here? We've got parts 1 and 2.
And I'm just cutting 3 off for all you know. Which is rather daft, to be quite honest. Cause
Why?
I take it I'm going to have to cut that bit off, aren't I?
Yes,
that bit
because
is saying, isn't it?
I think this probably used to come with a slaughter base by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Large slaughter base.
So I'll cut that off.
Because that's like a slaughter thing.
Mhm.
It's a slaughter trouble.
So okay.
Tumbleweed. Okay.
Concentrating.
Concentrate.
Thanks, Sheridan.
There we go. So this is part of 1 and 2. And you good together. Need some glue. Damn you, glue. Why are you never here for me? Right. Is that this like?
Yes.
3?
Yes.
That's 3. 1 and 2. You can tell the way this goes together. This isn't a brand new time model. This attachment's pretty old school. I'll stick you on there. There's actually a bit there I need to take off as well. What happens when you rush? There we go. Some lines that need some work on. Sorry for the scraping noise, guys. Just want to address some of these problems now. There we go. There we go. Right. Okay, so that's part 1 and 2 together. Part 3, which is this bit. Go on there. That needs to come off as well. It's not like loads of parts to me, is there?
Not really, no. I've cut off the little boulders that were on that bit as well.
All the boulders?
Yeah,
oh,
if you wanted
going.
them.
I can stick them on the base, can't I?
Just a bit of rubble in it.
Rubble.
Rubble.
Waste not.
Exactly. Waste not, want not. Put 12 as well.
Okay, hold that in place. So yeah, that would normally have the 2 strands on that would go into a base, and then that would have held him up. So what's next? So it's part 8 and 10 to make the claw.
It's 12.
12, which is
8 and 10,
wing.
I'll get that for you. That is 10.
And then the feet, which are part 6 and 7. Which hopefully will help him stand up a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
8 and 10, did you say? Yeah.
Yep. Big wing. I remember when this came out, this model.
Not sure. I don't think I've ever seen it, to be quite honest. I don't recall seeing
It's
it.
when all the other monsters and stuff came out. Like the Jabberwocky type thing.
Alright.
And the Manticore, which we do have.
Yes.
Obviously isn't in this book. Blast you. Oh, the Manticore is similar size to Bob.
Is it?
Yeah. You could always use it as another Bob. She's the same rule. Although, it's not really have a draconic head, it's more of a lion's head.
I think that's meant to be 5.
5.
Yeah, because 7's a leg.
7's a leg?
Yeah.
It's not a leg.
No, it's definitely a... Unless we're missing something out. I'll cut that other one
Right.
off.
There's quite a few little mould lines on these as well. Again, not a new model. Might have some new instructions, but it doesn't have new sprues.
See, it's a good decision on Games Workshop's behalf, really, that they've got a lot of probably extra models that are sitting around that people aren't buying,
Yeah.
monsters and stuff like that. So, what better way to get people to buy them than put them in Warcry?
Yeah.
It gets rid of the stocks as well, because
See, there's a bit of a mess on that join. Nothing that I can't file down and then fill a little bit with green stuff. But just to give you an example, this is a much older model than other models, shall we say.
do you notice the sprue is dated 2010?
2010.
Yeah.
I thought it was older than that, to be fair.
Well, it might be. It just might be that this is a recasted sprue
Yeah.
dated 2010. We were probably knocking around a games day at that point.
Would have been. I miss
Oh,
Games Day.
Games
I know they
Day.
got Warner first, but it's just not the
It's
same.
not, it's not the same. Games day was awesome down at NEC.
It's not Games Day. Not anymore.
Used to enjoy our trips down there, actually.
I remember the
To
old days.
Birmingham. What, at the...
Yeah.
Actually in Birmingham. Is that that was the other one, wasn't it? In Birmingham City Centre.
Oh, I went to one though. When they had it at the city centre.
Right.
But the ones we went to wasn't.
No, that was at the NEC,
Yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
But I remember going to an earlier one. Right, so that's a Phaeton.
Oh. Okay.
I went with Richard.
Ah.
That was a long time ago.
Where was that at then?
Middle of Birmingham.
Ah.
Is it the other?
NEA, was it?
I don't know if that's there anymore.
I
don't know. It's been that long. Probably many, many years ago. For the dark times, for the Empire. It's almost literally that length of time. Like between the Clone Wars and... Right, okay. No, I feel old. Right. So that goes on there.
Depressed yourself.
Yeah, no, extremely depressed. I'm going to continue the rest of this video in depressed mode. So this wing is going to go on that. Like so. Right. So what's next? Wing.
The other wing.
The other wing.
And
So that's 11.
So we'll get
No, we got 7 and 9 for the arm. Yeah. Okay. Now we're on to the tail sections. Right. So there's a wing. Let's have a look at you. And sometimes you just need to use the scraping tool just to get rid of some of this stuff. You don't need to go full knife. There we go.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
Is that 20, 22 and 24 next?
Right. Pause the video a second while I do it. Okay, so let's try and finish this paw off. That's going to go on there, and again that needs coming off. That is a knife job. It's a full. Use the full knife.
Ooh.
Okay, let's glue these two parts together. They're going to go. There's a bit on there as well. Bugger. So you do still get these problems with the newer ones.
Not as much though.
But they do seem to fit better together when you've removed the troublesome parts. To be honest.
I suppose it makes you thankful for how well they've progressed in a way.
Yeah.
It makes you realise. Because when you put a lot of them together, you don't always realise what it was like previously.
Especially newer to the hobby.
Yeah.
In the old days, when it was all black and white.
Yeah.
And there was no colour paints at all.
Now you're making me feel old. Thanks.
Have you got the tail parts?
I have.
24, 22, 23, 21.
Yes.
So there we go. So that's the... Not dried yet. It's getting there.
Sorry, I'm in the midst of painting as well.
I know, she's not giving us her full attention, guys. She just doesn't care.
I'm trying to do these cipher lords because I've got into painting them, so...
Yeah, they look awesome. You're in a preview one now, you said it. You're going to have to. Everyone's going to be like, go on, show us things. Show us what you're doing.
There you go. Put that one on.
The ball.
The boss. That's the only one I've done at the moment. I'm starting the next one.
Looking good. And that'll be your third warband done when you've done those.
It will, yes.
Both 3 warbands. From, well, Chaos warbands. Plenty of other warbands.
There's one thing I will say for these Warcry miniatures. I'm really enjoying painting them because there's something different.
Again, these, obviously with them being so new, they go together a lot better and there's a lot less gaps and they just look awesome. The level of detail. One thing I was looking at when I put them together, the level of detail on the paw is almost non-existent compared to like the level of detail on any of these new miniatures. Let's grab one. Let's just got undercoat on. Just that. It's just the level of detail on this is massively improved.
Yeah.
You know, even if we're talking 10 years, that's what 10 years have done to the hobby. Right, so we have part 22, which is tongue and tail. Not always have those 2 parts connected. Traditionally in biology. So we have part 24, which is this head, this draconic style head. It's going to go on there, so let's glue that bit. The other part's going to go on the other side. So let's put a bit of glue on there in preparation for that. There's a little nodule in the nose. It's a very Tazine looking dragon. And that will go on that side. Oh, you
What's happened?
It's alright. It's always happened when you get like 2 part bit like that. And one part doesn't want to stick. But there we go, that's that bit. And then we have the next part of the tail, which is 21. And that is a weird looking fit. And again, there's a little bit of crud in the way. That's red. And let's glue you in place. I like that. Okay. That's fine. You don't see that bit. Now this will fit into the tail square there. You have a square peg. That's going to fit under there. Try to knock that off as I do this. Come on, in you go. Everyone cross fingers. Yeah, straight in there. So that glue off. Like that. He's done. So we're now on to the next stage, which is the heads. It's like the last thing as well, isn't it? The heads. So we have this head here. It's Godzilla type head. Sort of like a cat thingy, cat eagle type head. And then we have, well, that's kind of a cat head. The last one's like an eagle head. So it's 17, 16 and 18 for that one. 14, 13 and 15 for this one. And then we've got 20, 19 and that's it, just that's a 2-part head. So we'll get all those parts off. We will come back in 1 second. Actually what I can do, while I'm waiting for Claire to cut those off, is I will stick this to the base. Because once the heads are gone, it's going to be even heavier to keep in position. It's already heavy enough. Gravity's already not on our side. So before I put the heads on, I'll stick this to the base. And then we're back in a second to put the heads on. Okay guys, so hopefully while the body dries, we're going to stick the heads together. So we've got 14 and 13 down here, and we have these tusks. So it's like those 2 parts will stick together. And this weird tongue and tusk combo goes in there. Yeah, that looks right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure it works. There we go. And some glue along that line at the back of the mouth. And that can go in there. that's that head. That's the leftmost head. So the central head's this one. The Godzilla head. Does it look like Godzilla? It's even like pointing up and roaring a bit like the current movie poster.
You've got the tongue in there.
I mean, that's some foreshadowing from Games Workshop, isn't it? I wouldn't think anyone would ever copy Games Workshop. Where up does this tongue go? I think it's down, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like
Down. You down. Ah, got it the wrong way around, that's why. So this square bit goes at the back. Back. In you go. Little tongue. I know you want to go in there. Sod. So yeah, at the bottom of the jaw there is actually. Can we? Dunk.
That's what I was going to say.
Would it be easier to do it that way?
Put that in first and then.
It doesn't show it that way, does it? That is infinitely easier though. Yeah, it doesn't show it. It says stick the two together and stick the tongue in. That was infinitely easier just to stick the tongue on one side.
That's what I thought it was. You stuck the tongue on the side, and no, it doesn't.
Normally they'd have those two sides separate, and then they'd have that bit like pointing in at the same time to show you to put it together at the same time. But that was just infinitely easier doing it that way. Right. So these two parts, which is 20 and 19, are just two sides. There's no tongue involved in this. No tongue at all. What?
I'm saying nothing.
Well, the other two have a tongue. There's no tongue.
Saying nothing.
So that's the central head. That's the right head. That's the left head. I'm hoping that this is at least moderately dry. Moderately. We'll soon find out once I add the extra weight on if it falls forward. It was a fail. You can always pin it to its base. That's if it becomes an issue. Right, we'll put the central head on because that seems logical. To start in the middle, like George Lucas. And there's one more. And we have the right head, the chicken head, or griffin head, whatever it's meant to be. That goes on there. There are two little indentations on there. I think there might be some on there as well. Slightly different indentations. These are triangles, the others are lines, just so you don't get them mixed up. So if you were wanting to switch them around for any reason, say you had two, you just cut those off. It probably would work. Probably with a bit of green stuff shoved in there to hold it in place. So that one should fit on there. Oh, I dodged that. This is why normally you should let one dry before moving on to the next one. Top tip. We're just rushing. Right, we're done.
Cool.
Bob. Say hello to the camera, Bob. Hello.
Why does Bob sound like the Emperor?
I don't know.
Cool. Bob's the Emperor.
Bob Emperor.
Maybe that's his surname.
Bob Emperor.
Yeah.
Shiv. Should call him Shiv then, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. Technically he's got 4 heads.
Oh.
So that's a head.
Oh yeah, the little back bit.
The tail. So is he going to stand? Yeah, looks like it. Good.
Cool.
Brilliant. Right. Okay, right. So, you put those 2 bits of MacGuffin on.
Yes. Well, if you want to use them or not.
I will use them. I'm not going to use them where they would originally be. I'm going to stick them on now. Because we keep our Edge of Sigmar bases pretty clear for the most part. Too much fanciness. So it fits in with most kind of, without looking too awkward, most kind of battlefields. Right, oh, there we go. So that is Bob, Chimera Bob, Shiv, Bob Shiv. That's cool. The fact you get the card with it, obviously. And the rules are all here. On this one side on the damage table. I'm really happy with that actually. You know what? I know it's an older model. I've got to do some line filling around the gaps. If I can remember how to do it, it's been a long time. Get some green stuff to fill it. Probably some liquid green stuff on that.
Yeah, probably might be
It's
better.
it's still quite useful, that stuff, to be honest. More than people give it credit for. There's a bit of a gap on this arm. Don't need filling. There we go. What do you think?
I'm well impressed actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you've got the cards with it as well.
Yeah.
They've obviously really thought about this. It's going to be a bit like the Kill Team, though.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? I mean,
obviously that's the 40k
version. This will be the Age of Sigmar version.
It'd be cool to try and tackle it, and then add it to your warband. I mean, that in itself, because those battles don't count towards the battles in the campaign, those are separate battles. So you can run them as many times as you want, but you run the risk of losing, obviously, territories.
Yes.
So that's what you've got to bear in mind.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Right, so next time you see Bob, he should be painted. Who's painting him?
I'll let you paint him.
I'm painting Bob.
You paint Bob.
Okay.
I think you'll do justice.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I might be a little while before I paint him. I'm not going to be using him straight away. These are all purples. I like purple. And then we've got some greens. I like green. So I do like the colours.
You've got the greys as well on the...
Yeah, I do like the colours. I'm not sure if I want to paint him like this. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we should do him differently.
Put in the comments, what do you think? Right, so the next video we're going to have a look at the Ravaged Lands, is it?
Ravaged Lands, Defiled Ruins.
Defiled Ruins, which was the other box that came out today. So stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe, it helps us loads. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. And bye for now.
Bye!